Hey guys, it's Adam here, looking a little worse for wears. I haven't slept in days. I haven't been home in weeks, actually. I'm currently up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada for a little project I'm working on. I'm trying to film this video now with a little portable mic from AverMedia. Hopefully it sounds all right to you guys. So apologies for the video and everything. There's nothing I can really do about it. I don't have the capacity to edit it here. Like I said, I haven't been home in weeks. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about, there's some Shenmue 3 news dump that happened recently, and I thought I would go ahead and address it because a lot of people were asking me to. So the long and the short of it is, if you backed the Kickstarter and you're unhappy with the Epic Games Store situation, they're now going to give you the option to have a refund. There are certain catches to that, which we'll go into, but basically here are your options. If you funded the Kickstarter and you wanted the PC version and were expecting Steam, a lot of people were up in uproar about this and they were upset, etc. And so if you're not satisfied with that situation, they give you a couple of options. You can change it to a PS4 edition, or you can cancel it straight up and they'll give you a refund. If you choose to cancel it, that's your choice, of course. Take note that the funding from it actually comes from Epic. It does not come from the Kickstarter, which is cool, I guess. It's nice. I still wish more people were interested in keeping the game, but I mean, to each their own. If you want to maintain, though, there is the option to keep it, and there will be a Steam key available to you within a year, which will be honored if you choose to wait for that. So there is that situation happening. Now, this is all basically good news. There are some catches to this, though, depending on what your level of the Kickstarter backer was, because while they'll offer refunds to people who basically honored or offered for the PC game, they don't necessarily include people who, because some people like paid extra to have their name in the credits or to have a little like chibi figure of themselves, etc. Those people will not be eligible for refunds, at least not in full. Maybe for just the actual game. I'm not sure, but the reason for that is simple. Your funds, you were already part of the game. Like, that was an agreement that was made, and that's, I guess, what's going to be honored. So there is a logic to that. So there's that stuff. So that's basically good news for everybody. Personally, I would still hope that people, even as upset as they are about that whole situation, would still be interested in playing the game and doing it their own way. I mean, again, you know, it's a game that the community fought so hard to get made, and to give it up over essentially a launcher. And I realize it's not that simple, and I also say that from the perspective of a console gamer, so it's not my same, you know, issue. It doesn't affect me as directly, so it's unfair of me, I guess, to get confused by that. I'm not so much confused as just like, I don't know how else to put it. The situation is confusing to me because I'm a console gamer, and I understand that people don't like Epic and all that stuff. I get that. For some out of principle of the matter, and some out of just not liking the software, what have you. Point is, regardless if you like it or not, you will have the option to get out with certain asterisks attached to it. So there's that. There's also a lot of good news and a small piece of bad news that came with this. They also gave us a lot more information about the actual content of the game. So they showed us this breakdown they had made back in 2015 of the Kickstarter and its stretch goals. And as you'll recall, their stretch goals, originally they had up to like $10 million in options for like what would happen if they reached those points. Now, they obviously didn't do that. They got to 6.3, and then through the Slacker backer got up to about 7 million. And so they hit certain points. Now, they have admitted that one of those points they failed to reach from a technology standpoint. Like, there was something called like, it was like first-person character perspective or something like that, and they've decided that they will not be able to do that. Apparently that wasn't technically possible, what have you, which is unfortunate. However, they also made a point that the Deep Silver funding, the Epic Games deal, etc., allowed them to be able to reach a whole bunch of extra stretch goals that the Kickstarter backers never would have made possible. So that's good. So basically what that means is one piece of content we thought we were getting will not be there, but a ton of pieces of content that we never thought we'd get will be there. So that's awesome. So overall, this is a pretty good update in general. Like I said, if you're unhappy with the whole situation regarding Epic Games, you can still get the Steam key. You just have to wait a year. You can switch over to a PS4 key if you want to do that, or a PS4 physical. There was an update as well to the PC physical edition. So originally, they were telling everybody you'd get PC physical editions. And then later, during this whole thing, they decided the physical edition would be all the stuff and a box, but inside the box would just be a code for Epic Game Store. What they've decided to do instead is they're going to give you a disc, but that disc will just have Epic Games Store launcher on it. It won't have anything else. It'll just be a nice, pretty disc that has no point. This was a mixed feeling situation for me. Again, because I am all about physical media, and also because I am a console gamer, so I wouldn't play a PC edition. But I did actually support this as well because I wanted to get like all versions. So I will actually have this edition. And I always knew I would never play this version, so it really doesn't matter. But I always kind of was curious like how this would work. And I think I was talking to Kareem Jovian of all people about this. He's another big Shenmue fan, another big YouTuber, etc., or much bigger YouTuber than me. He and I have actually done a couple of different videos about this whole thing that are up on his channel. And we were talking about, you know, what the PC version would be. So I believe it was he who pointed out the problem with physical PC editions is that most PC gamers did not buy Blu-ray drives, meaning you're still rocking a DVD-ROM if you even have one, which a lot of them don't. So a physical edition of Shenmue on PC is strange because it appeals to a fan base that loves physical content, which makes sense. I get it. I'm one of them. But at the same time, the technology did not keep up. So unless you have a Blu-ray drive and are a PC gamer and are a Shenmue fan, odds are you don't really have the infrastructure for a physical PC edition. At least that's what I've been told. That's why a lot of games that still had physical editions on PC, I think it was like GTA 5, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and all these other games, came with like 7 DVDs to have all the installation data. And then it's just installation data. It's not something you can actually play off of, it's just taking and extracting. So I guess they felt that that was kind of pointless. Because to be honest, it is. But taking away the disc entirely, I guess, from the collector standpoint was irritating, even if the disc was essentially useless. So this is, I guess, the compromise they've come up with. I was talking to, again, I'm in Toronto at the moment, I was talking to Shane Lewis, Re-Res TV, and his opinion on that matter was, well, the disc should, you know, I guess if you want to have the launcher on it, that's fine, but it should have had another, like, purpose. Like, maybe include some music on it or something, make it like a bonus soundtrack so it has some other function. And I think that's actually a good idea, although that doesn't seem to be the case with what they're doing. I can see that the lighting is changing a lot. I apologize, guys, and I hope in general you can just kind of forgive me for this. Like, you know what you miss when you're not home for weeks on end is your shaver. It's like, look at that, above that line, I'm sorry, I want my shaver. I don't have it with me, I forgot it. But yeah, so I'm only here for another night or so, and then I have to head off, and I'm supposed to go out to Paris because I'm going to the Paris Japan Expo thing that Yu Suzuki's going to be at. I'll be at that, and hopefully get you guys more information, and we'll talk about all this great stuff. But yeah, this is a nice big update for the Shenmue community. I'm very excited about, not only because it finds a way to find restitution with fans who were very upset about the whole Epic Games thing, but it's now more publicly obvious that the deal they struck with them will actually have a benefit on the game. Because a lot of people were saying, oh, it's just a greedy move, blah, blah, blah. I mean, first of all, we live in a world that's run on economics, so you can't really fault anybody for that, even though sometimes it can be obviously bad. We now know in this case, there was good that came of it, which was this deal they apparently made happened a long time ago. They had a relationship with them since basically the beginning because they made the game on Unreal Engine. So that relationship has existed, but we know through the connection, through that relationship, through the support of the fans being like, we love this franchise, we want to bring it back, we show all this Kickstarter energy basically. Unreal had enough interest to fund a massive chunk of the game, which means a ton of content that would not have been there originally now will be. So because of that, we all get a much bigger and better game. And the only people who get kind of screwed here, other than people who thought they would get a nice real physical edition for PC, are the PC gamers who expected it on Steam. You'll still get it, you just have to wait an extra year, which does suck, but it is technically going to be available to you. So this is kind of a nice win-win for almost everybody. It would have been nice if they had allowed Kickstarter backers the option to have Steam on launch. They apparently did look into that possibility, but it was determined that wasn't going to happen based on just different deals and different things that they would have to make with different groups, and at least that's how the Kickstarter email read. Now, the full email does exist. Obviously, anybody can go read it. It's posted all over the damn place, so if you want to read all that yourself, you can. But essentially, that's what's going on, is that the people have the option now for refunds should they really want it. We know now there's more content in the game coming, and yeah, it's just overall it's going to be a more exciting experience, I hope. And I think that's about it. I don't know what else I would really have to say about it at this point. This is good news. I'm really happy that there's going to be that much more content in it, because they showed a breakdown of that too, and it was just like, wow, there's a whole lot more stuff that was added to that game. And they made some changes to some stuff, but yeah, that's good. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for me here. If you happen to be going to Paris for the Japan Paris Expo thing, which name totally escapes me, and you see me around, say hi. It's all good. Yeah, and hopefully there's more good news coming up. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.